listening to The Bradshaw Boys, a podcast where three relatively grown men binge the iconic HBO series Sex and the City. So dust off those DVDs and grab yourself a white wine or even a Cosmopolitan and settle in. Take it away, boys.
Welcome to The Bradshaw Boys, a podcast where three guys watch their way through Sex and the City for the first time ever, mostly. I am Cory Cavin.
I am Kevin James Doyle.
My name is Jon Sieber.
And we have a fantastic guest for a fun, special fashion-themed episode today. We have with us the deputy fashion editor of the New York Post. Please welcome Anahita Moussavian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been so excited about this. I love you guys. I love the pod. I love your journey. I'm so excited for what's coming up. I know everyone says that to you, but...
Thank you. And I love your outfit.
Oh,
it is
thank you.
very shiny and amazing and looks like something you would see on Sex and the City.
Yeah, can you describe it to the listeners, John, since this is a podcast?
Okay, I'm going to try my best. So we have like a clear... let me see. I'm ruining it already. You have very sparkly shoes. Mm-hmm. They're like glittery shoes. Mm-hmm. And then you have like a clearish long dress with like bursts of glittery snowflakes, they almost look like. Mm-hmm. And then you have like a glittery top with like lots of fun, shiny necklaces and jewelry. Mm-hmm. You look incredible.
Thank you.
There's like a good mix between just like the sweater. There's like super glitter and also just like not super casual,
Like
but like
comfort, but also like hip comfort. Yeah.
Yeah,
And those look like shooting stars on the skirt.
Yeah, they're definitely shooting stars.
Okay,
Though
cool.
today I did describe them to someone as snowflakes.
There you go.
I'm so jealous
We're
of
all
people
right.
that are fashion minded because like for them it's like they look so effortlessly cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I like tried to dress as if I'm fashionable, I just look like an established buffet patron or something like that.
And
just look
you know,
awful.
like, do you know, like my mom does this instead of just giving a Christmas gift, she's gets a good deal and then she tells everyone how much she paid for it. And that's how I feel anytime I wear something nice. Instead of just being like, I'm going to be fashionable today, I'm like, do you notice I tucked in my shirt? And I'm like, I'm just like, I got new shoes. They were on sale.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fashionable people don't walk around being
Oh,
like,
no,
did
No,
you
because
notice?
part of fashion, you could maybe weigh in this, but I feel like part of fashion is like this effortless coolness and like a confidence. Mm-hmm. And the amount of times I've like left before I'm leaving my apartment, I Google like what to wear with black chinos.
You do?
Oh my gosh, all the time. I did it.
it's the number one in his search history, actually.
That's all I Google.
What to wear with black chinos, followed by Bruce Valanche.
And then what does Bruce Valanche wear with black chinos?
Exactly.
It's that too. But then you just see people on the street that are just like, oh, that person knows exactly what to put on. And like usually it's always like tight black jeans, leather jacket, ripped t-shirt. And they just look super cool. I could never wear that.
Am I pulling this hat off? Yeah, you were until you said that.
Yeah, totally.
Well, that's what I think. I think half the battle is literally just putting things on your body and walking out the door.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do 99% of the time. And you could definitely pull off that outfit.
Oh,
But how much?
Maybe
how
the
much
next time
of
I
it?
see you.
Like, because it does. It always appears so effortlessly for those who have an eye for fashion. But I imagine like your get up, your wardrobe is years of eye training and looking at things and seeing stuff that doesn't work and does work. What was your experience with the fashion industry and how did you get interested in it?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I grew up with a very, very stylish mother who taught me a lot about what I know, but I never thought I was going to end up in fashion. I actually, when I graduated from NYU, my full plan was to become a lawyer. I took a year off in between NYU as an undergrad, applied to law schools, took the LSATs. I was a legal assistant. All of that lasted for about 3 months. And I realized I was in complete misery. I was crying every day. I was wearing all black. Like nothing about it felt right or organic.
Yeah.
And I took the time to sort of challenge myself and say, "What if you could pursue your dream job? What would it be?" And it was working in fashion. And at first, I wanted to write about fashion, which I am lucky to do to this day. I didn't know about styling. I didn't know that was a career. I mean, this was a very long time ago before things like Instagram existed. So it was sort of a secret industry. And anyway, I was I interned at Us Weekly, moved over to InStyle magazine. My very first day as their intern, InStyle was shooting Katie Holmes as their cover shoot.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Which was major and very exciting. And Joey. Well, this was right before she started dating Tom Cruise. So we shot her in all of her favorite places as a single woman in New York City.
Oh my gosh.
Like Billy's Bakery, et cetera, et cetera. And then right when that cover story dropped, she announced her relationship with Tom Cruise.
Your outfit choices could have been the reason that she snagged T. Cruz. I'm not talking about Terry.
I wish I could take... I wish I could take credit for that cover shoot, but I will say at the time I was just interning and steaming clothes and doing all the unglamorous things that you do.
Yeah.
So, but I loved it and I was very grateful for it. And yeah, now I'm at the Post. Been there 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you get exposed to Sex and the City? What was your Sex and the City journey like?
I think you guys in particular will appreciate this anecdote because you're all Steve fans.
Yep.
So I was at NYU. It was my freshman year. I was in Washington Square Park with one of my college friends, Melissa Berengia. And she just suddenly freaked out and goes, "Oh my God, it's Steve from Sex and the City."
Oh my God.
And she's so excited to see this guy. And I look at him and I'm like, "Who is that?" And she's like, "He's on Sex and the City. You don't watch Sex in the City?" I was like, "I've never even heard of this show." So I didn't really start watching it at that point. But she had like a massive reaction to seeing Steve in Washington Square Park in real life. I also can't really pinpoint when exactly I started watching it, other than it was before the series ended, because I remember watching the finale in real time.
Okay.
And I just, like everyone else, loved the romance with New York, the clothes, their lifestyle, all of it.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's amazing that you saw. I mean, because that's what I've wondered while they were shooting the show. Would it be the kind of thing where you would just walk around and just see like, oh my gosh, I saw one of those actors, because it was such a huge New York show. And I feel like that happens with other shows that happen here. Like I'm sure that happened with Girls, and my sister and brother-in-law saw Michael Emerson, who was on Lost. Remember him? Did you guys watch Lost at all?
No.
Never mind. That
I
was a total
watched
dud.
Lost. Who is he?
He was Ben Linus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw him the other day. But it's like you see just random people, because he's on Persons of Interest or some like CBS thing. But to see someone at the height of when that show was happening, that's like pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she was excited.
Did you go from the beginning then? Did you like go back and catch up? Because that would have been a harder thing to do then, because there's no streaming or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I hopped around, like it was on... I remember hopping around watching it on DVD. And then at some point, because I have most of the DVDs at this point, and then I remember watching it on TV, like public television. But it's all edited.
Yeah.
So you're not really getting the full
On, like,
experience.
USA or
That was
something like
that was a big thing when they signed a contract with E or Bravo.
I think it was E.
What's the E?
I think it was E.
Yeah, with that was like a big, because I didn't even know about the show at the time. I just remember people being like, "How are they even going to do it?"
Yeah.
But now that it is edited,
Yeah.
but now that I've seen the whole show, I'm like, that's possible. I
Yeah.
can see that. Like, I think the name for me, I was like, it's probably just like sex all the time,
It's like real sex.
like real sex. That was the real. Yeah.
That was the real Sex and the City.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Do you? So in this episode, we're gonna go and we're gonna talk specifically about some of Carrie's looks throughout the seasons.
Yay.
Some memorable ones that all of you will be super familiar with. We're gonna talk about them, but and this may be hard to tell the difference between, since you're so familiar with the show now. But upon watching it for the first time, was there an episode that really stuck out where you saw it and you were just like, wow, that's an incredible, fashionable, I'm watching something kind of appear in real time, like an iconic moment?
Oh my God, there's so many. And while I can't call out, I think, a specific episode, I can definitely say that for me, season 4 was that perfect blend of like, it was obviously very, the cast and crew were obviously very aware that they were involved with the hit, but the styling was just so perfect and on point and really hit its stride while also being completely crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, season 4 sort of summed up a lot
Yeah.
of memorable fashion moments.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good because we're going to be starting season 5 soon. And there was like a huge backlash against it. And now there's been a re-backlash, as there always is, of like tons of emails and texts of people being like, don't worry, I like season 5. It's not as bad as people are saying.
Yeah.
But for a while, it was like in season 4, we just heard so many people being like, this is it. This is the peak.
Yeah.
And it's all downhill.
Yeah.
If it's got the ladies, if it's got some guys, if it's got New York, like we're gonna like it. We're gonna be fine.
If it's got some good fashion,
Yeah.
I feel like the fashion in 5 and 6 probably
ramp up a little
amazing.
bit.
That's
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it seems like they were so popular at that time. They were getting money for the show, and they probably like just like let Patricia Field go wild and just like let her do a bunch of different stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, should we start digging into some of Carrie's outfits,
Let's talk
some of the
through
most
some looks.
memorable looks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a first one you want to talk to us about?
I mean, I think the most iconic is, of course, the white tutu that she's wearing in the opening credits.
Yeah.
And she's wearing it with that pink tank top. It's really simple.
This is it, dudes.
Yeah, I have it
yeah.
pulled up. So there's an article that was a lot of these outfits are on, and Kevin, you'll put it in the bio.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the bio if you all want to like
It's-
follow along. We're not going through them necessarily in order, but a lot of the outfits will be on this article.
Is
Yeah.
this is like early on?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is so that. Okay. My question is.
Because this is her in her closet,
Right.
but this is actually not part of.
Is that like
series.
a promo picture or something like that?
I don't know if I should tell you.
Okay.
Tell us.
No.
It's from the movies.
Oh,
okay.
So she
Okay.
rebrings it
Oh,
back.
so they bring it back.
So
Oh,
is
yeah.
that like a very conscious choice? They're like, we know this is an iconic look.
Yeah, I mean, if I can give you context of the scene, she is moving out of her apartment and packing up her closet.
What?
So she does a little show and tell for the girls. It's a champagne fueled party
That's
where
so
they're helping
something
her
Carrie would
decide
do.
what to keep, what to toss, what to take.
That's
Not only would she invite her friends over to help her move, but then she's like, all right, I know we're supposed to be moving, but let me put on a fashion show first.
Oh, I've done that. I have gone through phases where I've edited my closet over the years. I've invited friends over for champagne.
As you were moving?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
my gosh.
and donuts and champagne, and
I love that.
I made the little signs that the girls use in this exact scene.
Oh my god.
I'm going to do that to you guys when I move.
Dude.
All right,
I
this
am
is
there.
this is my Pearl Jam T-shirt.
this is
Okay, this is the T-shirt of a bear on it.
This is another button down I got from Costco.
$12.99.
A lot of Costco.
Had to toe Costco, baby. That's it.
It's not what you wear.
It's how you wear it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have hope. There's
Fully
hope.
believe in that.
I guess I already like the idea that maybe this is a stupid thing to say, but it's like knowing that they already knew when they did the movie, like how iconic that was. Because I guess this is the whole point of this episode. I look at that and I'm like, how'd they know that was what made that iconic?
Yeah.
What made them know that is like was Carrie Bradshaw?
Yeah, that's a great question. And like, I'm asking this as humbly as I possibly can. I'm trying not to make fun of anything. This is serious. Like, what makes that fashionable? Is it Is it like an iconic outfit because of the show and her, or is it an iconic outfit on its own because it's like a brilliant look for the time and it's saying something of, what makes it iconic and amazing?
For me personally, and I think this resonates with a lot of fans of the show and the fashion. And fashion has changed so much since this series first aired, but you didn't see women walking around in New York wearing this.
Okay.
And she's just so like delightful, and she's floating and she's spinning and she's in her own world. And it's not just like a regular long ballerina tutu. It's layered, it's short. And she styled it very simply with like a pink tank top. So while it looks like it's a complicated, contrived look, it's actually just very simple. And it's about there's like a whimsy behind it. And, it says a lot about her personality.
Yeah.
That is the exact answer I was looking for. Like, you just like put on a masterclass of exactly what I was thinking. So that makes a ton of sense now.
I think you're right too with the whimsy. Great word to describe her
Whimsy.
and her outlook, her like curious outlook on the world.
Yeah.
And her like I don't know. There's such like a joy to the show, even in like sad episodes. Like it is such a lot of. I'm trying to think about when the show came out. There's a lot of stuff that's like NYPD Blue, the streets of New York, like Taxi Driver, like and maybe.
Can you please introduce it? Like be the background. Just streets. It's so intense.
Let's get Dennis Franz on the podcast from NYPD Blue. But even like Woody Allen's probably the most like New York person. But even that is not like most of those people just wear, I don't know, plain New York
work clothes
or whatever.
I mean, I guess that if you think a little bit about because you brought up like Woody Allen, if you think about Manhattan, like Diane Keaton wearing the outfit with the tie.
That's Annie Hall. Yeah.
That's Annie Hall, not Manhattan.
But yeah.
But there's a little bit of that where there's kind of this like fun, sort of like silly, but also fashionable kind of side to that.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
the Carrie kind of feels like a modern version of that.
SJP talked about when she was in Family Stone with Diane Keaton that she was like an icon for.
Oh my God, I'm sure.
And then Diane Keaton was just a jerk to her the whole time because that's what the script was.
Come on, Keaton.
The script
Diane.
called for them to be very mean to her the entire time. Yeah.
Can I say one thing about the white tutu that I
Yes.
think
Please.
will speak to its
Please.
relevancy even now is that I don't know if you know the story behind it, but because Pat Field is such a genius and resourceful stylist, the story goes that she found this tutu in a bin for $5.
Wow.
She really had to sell it to the showrunners. That whole look, I think at first it wasn't completely greenlit. And once it became so iconic that Patricia Field now carries it and sells it in stores and online.
Really?
So for any girl who wants one or anybody who wants one, it's available.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
I have two.
It's kind of like similar to your style that you have now, like the top, like the more fitting top.
Yep.
And then the flowy
Yes.
Bottom.
dress. And I like fashion. No, it's hard to, I don't know what the top is called. Fitting?
Tube top.
Tube top.
Tube top.
Sequin tube top.
I have a shirt
Sequin
and
tube.
pants and shoes.
I got
and
these new
that is
boots.
what
I got these last week.
Kevin
I love
got those
them.
boots. Those are really
I
nice
need a pair.
boots.
You did exactly what you said. You did. Like, and it was so pure. I just saw the thought wash over your face. I got these business.
I'm blushing.
It's so funny.
That was so funny.
All right, let's go to the next look.
Okay, so we did the pink one.
Anything you want. I can show you these and you tell me when to stop.
Let's talk about the jeweled underwear.
Jeweled underwear.
Jeweled underwear.
You've seen this episode where she does the runway show
Yeah.
and is dating
Show. Margaret
it's
Cho's in that.
fantastic.
Oh yes, the
Heidi
fashion,
Klum.
Yep.
the fashion walk episode.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, this look is so bonkers, and it's not originally what she was supposed to be wearing.
Oh really? What was she supposed to be wearing?
Well, in the episode, I meant. Sorry, I should have given that context.
Okay.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
in the
because they
episode,
swap
she's
it out.
supposed to be
That's
wearing
right. They
this-
swap it out.
This Dolce gown,
Yes.
and then Heidi Klum enters, and they're like, "No, Heidi needs to be wearing the Dolce."
Yeah, I got it here.
Yeah,
we're looking at
we're
it.
looking at it. This is the article's on Bustle, and it's like the 36
We're
looks.
always impressed by our anytime we mess up something on the Instagram or say something, like people will be like, that's season 3 episode 16, and I'm like, okay, so I know you guys know what we're talking about,
Yes,
and you don't need to
completely.
look at pictures.
So
but-
so why is this such like a bonkers look?
I think what I love so much about first of all, Carrie herself, even though she wears all these crazy outfits, she's actually very modest compared to the other girls. She in real life, Sarah Jessica Parker had the no nudity clause. So for her to be walking down a runway wearing jeweled underwear, I thought was like just such a moment for her. Also, I don't know how popular jeweled underwear was back then. I kind of feel like social media, specifically Instagram, has given consumers a platform in which they can find anything from around the world and just buy it through, a quick DM to a designer. But I just remember falling in love with the idea of jeweled underwear. I loved jeweled anything, of course. But I just thought it was so crazy and so special. Also, she looks amazing.
Yeah,
I
her
mean-
makeup is like her makeup and hair is done. It's like very high fashion. The whole thing.
But I think, at the time, jeweled underwear was really one of the crazier things you would see, not just not just in life, but on television. I mean, who is wearing jeweled underwear on TV?
And it's like nude colored jeweled underwear, so it's definitely saucy.
Yeah. You know, we live now in the era of like naked dresses and sheer dresses. So lingerie has changed quite a bit and evolved. But here it just was so, you know, have we ever seen this before? I don't know.
Is that pre or post? Because I guess it wasn't underwear, but it kind of reminds me, not with the coat. And also I love the leopard print inside the coat.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But when Britney Spears did the VMAs with the snake,
Oh, yeah.
she wore the whole nude
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
outfit,
right.
and it was
yeah.
it was jeweled. I wonder if that was pre or post this.
Good question.
That's also in the video. That video she has.
Is that Toxic or
No.
I'm a Slave for You?
It's I'm a Slave for You. I'm a Slave for You was the VMA's performance. I think the Toxic video is the one with the nude suit. I think. Guys, hit us up in the comments and correct us.
Hey,
please.
any guys that are listening that are between the ages of 30 and 38,
You know exactly what we're talking
you
about.
know exactly what we're talking
You
about.
were there.
Also, shout out to Christina Aguilera's dirty music video for destroying my summers. All indoors. Okay, just kidding. Here she is falling.
oh, God.
We got a gif.
We have a gif of her falling down, and then Heidi Klum just steps right over her, and she's fashion roadkill.
Fashion
Is that what would
roadkill.
really happen in a fashion show? If someone ate it and there was another model, would they just walk right over?
I think they
them?
would walk around them probably.
I think it depends on the models.
Oh, true.
know?
There was one thing. Wasn't there something a couple years ago where one model went and helped another one up?
Yeah.
And I forgot what that was, but there was like a big thing, and like everyone like stood
That
up
makes
clapped.
sense.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause,
great.
Kevin, I would help you up, and Corey, I would definitely step
You would step over me.
Yeah.
right over you.
You would
You
tell
know why?
I know why.
You know why.
I know why.
I like what you're wearing with your chinos today.
Is there a
I googled so much.
and also SJP did speaking of lingerie, she did the thing with intimacy, right?
Intimissimi.
What is it?
What?
Intimissimi.
What is
An
it?
Italian label.
I always thought it was a
Intimissimi.
play on intimacy. Maybe it is, but it's intimissimi. Mm-hmm. Wow,
The Italians like the added
Yeah.
syllables.
that's the
My-
type
my
of
wife and I
lingerie
are-
that Mario's wife wears. Mario and Luigi.
Intimissimi.
Intimissimi.
Me and my wife are struggling with intimissimi. This is when Mario goes to sex therapy. Sir, we have another person that's here after you. It's me, Luigi. He's also having trouble with his wife.
All right. Do you have more to say on this? We don't want to cut you off. I just
No. It's just that jeweled underwear.
jeweled underwear. Do you think any of those, if you wear those all the time, they kind of flake off and
Probably. Is there jeweled underwears like boxer briefs? And if not, can we maybe design a pair?
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love that
MeUndies,
idea.
you hearing this?
I feel like this is a big one.
Which one is this?
The Hamptons hoedown outfit.
Oh, yes. The cowboy hat Hamptons outfit, which this article refers to as the Stunned Cowgirl. Yeah, this was pretty wild. The
I
whole
refer to
episode.
it as core strength.
Like, exactly.
That's not actually the outfit doesn't matter. It's just the audacity to just be like you have to look that good. Mm-hmm. But actually, one detail on here that I like. What's that thing?
A bandeau.
Tell us more about
the bandeau on her arm?
Well, that's an armband.
Okay.
But the bandeau is the strap of stretchy fabric that she's wearing just right above her
Like
boob.
the tube top,
It's a cropped tube top.
crop tube
Cropped
top
tube
called a
top.
bandeau.
They're usually stretchy. And they're usually worn as a layering piece. And here she is just wearing it like a swimsuit top.
Like
Yeah.
you might throw on like a netted, like something like that, something
Yeah.
sheer.
Something sheer, a jacket.
Man.
I like this one because if you guys know Macho Man Randy Savage, it's like something that I think he would wear if he was partying in the Hamptons.
This looks like. Pull up a picture. I'm going to pull up a picture of Macho Man Randy Savage.
I don't care if you got a wife. I don't care.
And Natasha, I will throw you down the stairs and bust your nose open. Oh yeah.
I'll crack your teeth out of your damn mouth. My name's Carrie Bradshaw.
Do you know who Macho Man Randy Savage is?
I have no idea.
he's a professional wrestler from the late 80s, early 90s.
Well-
but he looks like. Here's a great. There's Macho Man Randy Savage.
That's phenomenal.
I think he wears bandos and armbands.
Is that a glittery
jeweled
jacket?
underwear.
It's a glittery jacket.
Love it.
And
fringe.
with fringe.
She's got fringe on there.
It's got a Slim Jim in the back pocket.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh, Big, you got away from me this time, but I'll get you back. One time when you're in a marriage, and then later, I'm gonna marry you. Oh, yeah, brother.
Your neck veins do some really impressive stuff.
I'm a method actor.
You must.
I'm really a method actor.
What's this arm cuff?
Yeah, let's say the arm bandana. Is that just a...
Am I zoning in on that when it's not really... It's like,
not really
it's
a
cool.
thing.
I just think that's pure Pat Field. Like, how can I take an outfit that's already so bonkers and just give it a Carrie Bradshaw twist?
Yeah.
Because most women would never do that.
Yeah.
But I think what I really love about this outfit is that it's the first time where she meets Natasha.
Yes. Yeah.
And the second time she meets Natasha, she's in a dressing room with Miranda.
That's right. Yeah.
And she has no clothes on and, is feeling very self-conscious about seeing Natasha in a particularly vulnerable state.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she's invited to this luncheon that Natasha is co-hosting. And Carrie becomes obsessed with finding the perfect outfit, like maxing out her credit cards to find the perfect outfit so she can look amazing at this luncheon. And she's telling her girlfriends, I have to find the perfect outfit because I've met her twice and I'm like, freaking Annie, get your clothes on. And I love that line so much. It's just a testament to the show and the punning, which we know it's
So much.
famous for. But the craziest part to me is that as a viewer, and if you love how Carrie dresses, Carrie looks amazing in both of these moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think her weakest look is, and it's not even weak, but it's the least Carrie of all, is the outfit she chooses to wear for this luncheon after maxing out her credit cards.
Interesting.
Like she goes for a safer pink dress,
Yeah.
to look like a lady who lunches, when in
Right.
reality she's just this fashion eccentric, and that's why we love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of
So-
shows that like moment of insecurity too.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm not going to be myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like what I think I should look like to impress this person or whatever.
Yeah, which is crazy because she never does that for anybody.
Yeah. That's really cool.
What's
see.
the next outfit that you want to talk about?
There is her flowers. We all know
Yeah.
the big flowers are such a thing.
Which we've seen some. Does that come even more later in the series? Because we've seen some of that, but I don't feel like we've been like blown
This
out of
is
the water.
also
with
how
flowers
dumb
yet.
we are that it's
It's
like,
very possible we missed it.
well, that I guess like people say it, but it's a visual thing. But I guess since people made such a big deal out of it, we're waiting for someone to be like, I'm going to put on my big flower. And it's just a fashion thing. It's not a thing they talk about.
It's just a thing that she wears, and I think she's wearing it. She breaks it out for the first time during the Jon Slattery.
So it's
Yep.
early season 3?
that's season
Yeah.
season 3.
2. Wow.
That's 2.
Sheesh.
I think so.
Slattery season 2.
I think he's season 3 because where I am at your pod right now, it's the beginning of season 3, and you just talked about.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that kind of, but that stays with her that becomes like a major Carrie.
It's just a signature, and I think it definitely is carried throughout the series, but it's really prominent in season 3, when she's dating Jon Slattery. And, you appreciate the moments where she's, on the trail with him and, his team is trying to get her to wear the campaign pin.
Right.
And she's so, unwilling to compromise her aesthetic.
Yeah.
That she's tucked his pin underneath her giant flower pin. I don't know if you remember that moment, but it's a great moment where they're trying to make her look more the part
Yeah.
of
More presentable.
correct. And
Yeah.
she's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my thing.
Yeah.
And she's wearing the flower while she's dating Aiden, which is all really fun to watch the two of them when they start dating. And her fashion is super, especially carefree and bright. And then this photo that you're looking at right now is season 6.
We are not there yet. She's describe this to us.
Fashionable mime.
This is her adventure to Paris.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you guys too much more.
Okay.
But this is like this 2 episode segment is where the fashion truly goes over the top.
In a good way or just like jump the shark?
Fantastic.
Okay.
It's a dream.
Wait.
Like it is just all of your fashion fantasies combined in like under 2 hours of television. Or I don't know how long each episode
What would our
is.
fantasies be combined? Be John's would be Costco.
Mine would, just Costco.
Just be
Everything
Kirkland
costs
signature.
$12.99.
Yeah.
It's like a dollar store, but $12.99.
Giant flowers, but $12.99.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just Kirkland
Mine would-
signature.
Yeah, mine would just be a solid sale at J. Crew, Filson, and Fry.
Sounds
Just
great.
just look like an outdoorsman who is just like, I want to be inside. That's my aesthetic. My aesthetic is for people to think that I can chop wood when really I'm like, oh yeah, you have to be strong to get the wood to actually split.
Okay, I chopped it. What do I do with it?
What? Can we watch a movie now? That's
great.
my. What's your aesthetic?
I don't know. I think mine would be there would probably be some like comfy around the house clothes. The thing that I've spent one of the things I've spent almost the most money on was I bought a really nice pair of pajama pants last year. And they're flowered. It's a company called Sleepy Jones. It's
Oh yeah.
and they're like flowered pajama pants, and I got them because they were really like thin cotton. I could wear them in the summertime. I love them. So it'd be that and
So
like
just combine all those. And you
Combine
have,
those
you have
three.
fashion fantasies.
it's like So that's what that episode's like in season 6.
Yeah.
Last 2
Great.
episodes
Can't
are.
wait. Cannot wait.
I have no words.
Oh, man.
We've heard from a lot of people like this definitely gets the ire is always on the second movie, and a lot of people are like they fucking nailed the first movie and they nailed the series finale, which gets me very excited.
Yeah,
Oh my
we
God,
don't know. We say spoilers are off the table, and they are, but we don't really know a lot about that last episode.
That's
No.
true.
Yeah.
No. So
Just
yeah.
get ready. Fashion plays. There are certain elements of fashion that wrap up the series in a way that you're not ready for.
Oh, man.
And you realize how brilliant the people are behind the show and who are creating it because they're weaving narratives not just with words but with clothes,
Right.
and it's really special. And about the flower, one last thing is,
Yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker has her shoe line, and they sell not just shoes, but they sell flower pins as well. So for anyone looking for an entree into the Carrie Bradshaw wardrobe,
She's so smart at I'm sure any person if it becomes like the thing you're defined by, it could be like you can embrace it, you can like fight against it, and I feel like she's just so smart at being like, yeah, like that's part of what made me.
Yeah.
And she embraces it, and then also in a way like ends up not being totally defined by Sex and the City. She's like, I do all these other things. I'm still doing other. So I don't know. It's like not like, don't talk to me about that show. I do divorce now.
no, she
And I'm like-
fully celebrates.
Yeah.
She celebrates
Carrie.
it, and I think it's cool.
I think
Yeah.
it's cool too.
How much does a flower run you? We should get flowers.
I wish I knew that, but I don't. But you should definitely get flowers. And my question for you guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you have nameplate necklaces?
No,
No,
and we
no.
don't, and I think we talked about that at the beginning of when we started doing the podcast, and then we never did it.
Okay.
We need nameplate necklaces.
Yeah, that 10,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need nameplate
That's something we need to
necklaces.
remedy.
We should
real
get some
quick.
nameplate
Yeah.
necklaces.
And whether you want it to be your names, your nicknames, the Bradshaw boys,
I think we'd have
boys.
to get.
Corbone,
Corbone.
I mean,
Corbone.
I think I'd love to get one that said Kevin, but I think we would probably realistically pick guys that we like from Sex and the City.
Oh my God.
Like I would get a Shmuel one.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I would get a Richard one.
Len. Just give me
Richard.
Len.
Give me Len.
Yo, I just realized
No,
today.
I don't want Richard. Who would I get?
Huh? You
Come
turtle?
on. Take
I would get
Richard.
Turtle. I'd get Turtle. Yeah.
Oh, turtle.
The there's like an emoticon of just like a white fairy, completely white with white hair and kind
Yeah.
of like glitter on. And I was always like, what is that guy emoticon? And I realized that guy emoticon is Len.
Really?
It's just, I'll pull it up, but I was like,
Len.
that's gonna now be the Len emoticon.
Oh,
Trust me,
man.
I have some
Does he have feather earrings?
suggested.
Okay.
Suggested.
Real quick, this one. What do you think about that one right there?
Oh my God. I work at a newspaper, so I have an extra appreciation for this dress.
Yes. Explain what this one is. I think people know now that you're talking about it.
Oh, yes. This was, if I remember correctly, John Galliano when he was at Christian Dior.
Yep.
And she wears this to apologize to Natasha.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yes. And she's like looking super sexy and
Such
shows
bad
up
choices.
at Natasha's, while Natasha's waiting for her date to show up.
Yeah.
She drinks the future date's glass of water.
Oh my
And she just looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And also the way that episode ends, like it's playing, I think how they shoot her is playing to the amazingness of that dress on her because it's all open in the back.
Yeah.
So you get to enjoy these moments of her walking and thinking about what had just happened with Natasha. It looks great from the front. It's completely open in the back and it's just super sexy. And it's, it also is a cheeky nod to her profession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her being
I
a
didn't
writer.
think about that.
Is there when stuff like this came out on the show, because it is a Dior dress, did people go buy that? Like, did that dress like sell a ton? Did people go buy the Dior newspaper dress?
So I wish I could speak to that at that time, but I wasn't really following the show actively in real life then, so I can't actually tell you.
Yeah,
but
totally.
John Galliano has a label, and as recently as 6 months to a year ago, he was selling versions of those pieces.
Wow.
The label was.
That's cool.
Corey, we got to get you one.
Dude, we have got to get me one.
That's what you wear with black chinos, FYI.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, you're right. Yeah.
And this photo is not from the series.
This one? The one that we're looking
It's a
at?
setup,
It's in the
like
article.
It's from the movie.
Oh,
So
well,
they
it
bring
does,
that back.
it does say, it says the Dior newspaper dress that was so memorable, it made 2 separate appearances.
whoa.
There we
Man,
go.
they were so smart to just like. That's like there's no reason to make a movie from a TV show unless it's just like we're giving the fans what they want and we're ramping it up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's so smart.
I also love that, as everyone talks about how ridiculous Carrie's wardrobe is, given her job and how can she afford all these things, but she does rewear things in subtle ways. And I mean, that probably was just giving viewers a moment, as you said, but she does rewear her pieces.
And a lot of people are just mad at her whimsy. Just like, let her have her whimsy.
So much
Sorry, you're
whimsy.
so sad with your life. Let
Yeah.
someone have a little fucking whimsy.
Yeah, for real.
Come on.
Come on, man. You mentioned a little bit ago, we talked about SJP's shoe line.
Yeah.
So you told us something before we started recording. Can we talk about that now?
Yeah. Will you tell us about it?
Sure.
Yeah. This was insane to us. So
So
SJP has a shoe line.
SJP has a shoe line.
SJP collection.
The SJP collection. They have a store in New York City.
Yes, 2 actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Midtown, Seaport.
Mm-hmm.
And when she first debuted the collection to fashion editors, we were at a very fancy hotel suite, and it was maybe 15 editors, and I was invited. I was flipping out internally because I was like, oh my God, like Carrie Bradshaw's coming out with shoes. So as she was walking us through the shoes, she described that each style is named after a woman, either someone she knows or maybe a writer that she admires. She names each shoe after a woman who inspires her in some way. Soon after that, I went to her first pop-up shop where she was finally selling the shoes and giving fashion editors a chance to pre-shop the brand. And I remember at the time insisting that I had to be the first one there with my coworker, Johanna. We were the first ones in the shop. I was the first person to actually buy a pair of shoes. And her partner in the shoe label, his name is George Malcolmus. He came up to me and said, congratulations on the shoe purchase. Would you like Sarah Jessica to sign them? I was like, oh my God, yes. This means I can never wear them, but yes. So she and I chatted for a few minutes, realized we're both from Cincinnati. I mean, I already knew that about her, of course. Bonded
She
over.
went to Kenyon College, right?
I don't actually know that.
I'm pretty sure.
Kevin's also
I'm
from Ohio.
Columbus.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, we talked Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay. So we chatted about Cincinnati. our favorite hometown restaurant, Skyline Chili, is kind of a local thing. And eventually the shoe label and Sarah Jessica started following me on Instagram because I sometimes will post outfits that I wear. And I was a big fan of her shoes and was always tagging the shoes in my posts. I would say about 2 or 3 years ago, I got a message from a friend about an article that had come out in Vogue. And it was an article written about these Cinderella-worthy shoes that Sarah Jessica Parker had just worn to a Calvin Klein show during Fashion Week. And the shoe was called the Anahita.
What?
Yeah, so it was kind of mind-blowing.
That's amazing.
It was crazy.
That's so awesome.
She named a shoe after you.
Which is crazy because, okay, so the shoes you're wearing now, then the shoes that and we saw you at our live show, and like that we'd known each other through Instagram, but like the first time we met you was at the live show.
Yes.
And so the Anahita on her website is like very much like the shoes that you had on at the show and that you have on now.
Yes.
So it's patterned after those. It seems to be patterned after those. They look like silver ruby slippers almost.
Totally.
Yeah. Totally.
I am wearing the Anahita.
That's the ones.
This
Okay,
is
cool.
the Anahita.
That's the one.
I had to wear these for you guys.
That is so insane.
Yeah, they're like a rainbow glitter fabric that is exclusive to her shoe line called Scintillate.
Okay.
And a lot of the shoes will come in. A lot of her shoes come in this fabric, but yeah, it was pretty humbling.
We're all like looking at the shoes now
like,
as we're trying to record the podcast. We're like looking at the shoes.
I brought extra pairs if you guys want to have a look.
Yeah.
In other colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can do that whenever you guys.
Oh my goodness.
to.
Yeah. That's incredible.
But yeah, so it was a pretty wild moment. Not something I ever expected. It's definitely still very pinch me. Pinch me. But I ran into her at a show like a few days after the Vogue article had come out. I saw her at a fashion show and she was really kind. And, she just said, I hope you love the shoe.
Oh my God.
When I saw it, it had a different name. And I said, no, we have to name this after Anahita.
Oh my gosh.
gosh.
I know. I secretly was dying inside.
Yeah.
I can't wait till she comes out with a line of microphones and names them after us.
Hey, it could happen.
It could happen. You never
Believe
know.
me, in my wildest
Yeah.
fantasies, dreams.
That is so crazy. Like to work in New York fashion and obviously like be a fan of the show, but know her and then have that happen. That's mind blowing. That is like a Carrie Bradshaw storyline. From the show completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're Carrie.
Yeah.
No,
you're
there is
Carrie.
only one Carrie.
I know, but you're Carrie in this.
You're like real life Carrie.
In this fairy tale.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is really, really cool.
Yeah, it was wild.
Wow.
How are they? Are they comfortable?
They're super. I'm actually so grateful that it's a lower block heel because I run around town all the time.
Yeah.
So I can wear these for hours and hours and hours. Super comfortable. And they're really pretty.
They're amazing.
They're just very rainbowy and glittery and they're magical.
They're awesome.
Man, I'm gonna go back and re-listen to this episode when I'm describing your shoes and just sound like such an idiot.
No,
Sorry, forgive me.
I loved your description.
That's fine. I'll go back when people are like, "What's your fashion vibe?" And I'm like, "Pajama pants."
They got flowers on.
They got flowers on them. I paid a lot of money for them. They're pajama pants.
Do you have anything you can tell us about Pat Field, her influence on fashion in general, or just any interactions you've had?
So I have had the honor to interview her and meet her on many occasions. Again, because she's such a prominent figure in the fashion world. And a fun fact I learned about her when I first met her is she said to me, "Your name is Anahita? My Greek name is Anahit."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God. I just think the thing about Pat Field and her magic is that she doesn't follow any rules. She just does what feels right and organic. And you can easily look at Carrie's outfits and think they're really contrived. But I think that's the magic of Pat Field is that she just runs with instinct. She's a New York City icon.
There's also a thing, especially maybe it's not like in a pre-social media world, it seems like, especially now when I get on Twitter or when something comes out, like there with certain TV shows, there needs to be a thing that's like Drake's really good at it. Beyonce's really good at being like, here's like the in that is going to get everybody talking about this song or this appearance on a TV show or this thing. And it seems like she had that with fashion even before social media, that is like, everyone's tuning into the same thing. There's not even social media, but here's like that thing, like the flower, like other stuff, like this is sticky. This will stick in the culture and people will get into this like wildfire in a classic way, but in that special thing that just gets people talking. I'm talking right now. I thought of that.
This outfit.
Because I'm like,
one of my favorites.
That's like kind of an odd thing, but it's also like, I can totally hear, I don't know what other show would have water cooler moments having to do with like a fashion thing like
the
that.
outfit you're talking about is when she has like a cropped button-up pink top, like a belt across just her stomach.
Yep.
And then what kind of skirt is that? It's like
It's kind of a flowy
striped.
A-line printed.
Okay.
I can't tell. It looks like it's almost a palm tree
Okay.
leafy situation. And I remember this is when they're going wedding dress shopping. Carrie's
her
freaking
and
out.
Miranda go wedding dress shopping
Yeah,
together.
Miranda's pregnant.
That's right.
And they go into the store.
Yes, in season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
And I think the photo has cropped the top. Is the top of her head? Okay, so you see that tiara that she's wearing. I remember some behind the scenes tidbits. I think it was from the DVD. And I loved, to me, this spoke to the styling magic of this show. That tiara is actually a necklace. And Pat and Sarah Jessica just decided to flip it up into a tiara.
Wow.
Which
Wow.
is like,
That's
why?
so cool.
Do we need to know why? No. It's
Yeah.
just
they're
awesome.
like, I don't know how to just like, obviously you follow the rules and then know when to break them in a way that it's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, like why can't you do that?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and that's why I think someone like Pat Field is so inspiring, because she really has no rules. And I think if you can sort of get over the Googling in the morning what you should be wearing with your black jeans and just sort of own that you can wear what you want.
Yeah, totally. That's true.
It's very empowering. It's very empowering. And she does that for women, I think.
That's
Or
true.
for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. Just like an
kinds of
owning
people.
thing. I want to ask, we are going to wrap up soon, but before we do, I want to. Well, one thing I just noticed is I didn't notice this at all. I thought your earring was just a long dangly earring, but it is a dangly earring that is your name and it is bejeweled, and that is
that's
amazing.
awesome.
That is
Thank you.
We should get a picture of that. That is the coolest
God.
earring. I
Oh,
love that.
nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just was looking at you, listening to you, and I was like, that says Anahita.
It does.
That's so cool.
I was going to ask 2 questions. One, which guy do you think on the show did they do a good job of styling? And then other one would be what is one of your favorite episodes?
Oh, Guy is really tough. Because to be honest, I didn't pay. Well, I love a lot of Steve's basketball inspired looks. But that's because
Swish.
Hey guys, we've been the Bradshaw Boys. This has been Anahita. Thank you so much.
you. This
We're
is,
done.
We're done.
We're done with
We're
the
done with the
podcast.
podcast. You can delete every episode but this one.
I now know exactly how you felt when you had those shoes named after you.
exactly. But I know that I'm not wearing anything right now that indicates a love of sporty things.
Yeah.
But I do wear a lot of sporty things to contrast the extreme glitter.
Yeah.
So I love a lot of his stuff because it's just like very like natural to him and his character, but it's all very cool. Like he's just wearing cool basketball stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just walk us. So just like we did
God.
with the others, just walk us through. Walk us
looking at-
through what's going on here.
We're looking at some Steve looks right now.
So what we got, we have. You take the reins here. I don't want to step on toes. Just walk us through this outfit.
Well, this is a great scene because Steve and Miranda are having a disagreement because Steve wants Miranda to be more supportive of his dream of shooting the half-court shot.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. Great argument.
Yeah. And this, I think a lot of their wardrobe choices for Steve and Miranda are very specifically chosen to make her look extra corporate and extra lawyerly.
Yeah.
And to make it look like she's dating this sort of like kid who hasn't grown up yet.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where he's watching, I think, cartoons and eating cereal. And,
Yep.
But he's wearing a sleeveless Puma t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's wearing a cargo situation.
It's
South
actually
of
like
his-
an outfit you'd probably see in the summer in Williamsburg.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to tell whether this is like a khaki or if it's cargo sweatpants, sweat shorts.
See, those would be awesome.
They may be cargo sweat shorts, in which case, hey, good on you.
Hey, good
Tell
on
you
you,
what,
Steve.
if Kirkland's signature starts pumping those things out. I'm
Oh,
gonna buy a
John,
pair.
you're gonna have so many pairs of those.
Yeah, I think it's I
mean, Steve is also just a cool guy. I think he can pull off anything. But it's just classic sleeveless top. He looks good. He looks great.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
he's
look
got
at
those
him.
great chucks.
The chucks with the pulled up sock, that detail says
Yeah.
so much about him.
Yeah.
Like that is, you think he's being nerdy and maybe he is, but maybe secretly he's just really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulling up your socks like that is a very specific styling choice.
He's also a dude that he's the epitome of what we're talking about. Like he owns his thing.
look.
Yeah.
He does.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna go shoot a half court shot. Like he's wearing the appropriate attire.
Do you remember when they tried to put a suit on him? Broke up with Miranda.
God,
It was
the
too
corduroy
much.
suit.
He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
It's too
I
much
wish he
stress.
wore the
It's like-
corduroy suit.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about yeah.
All right,
Well-
I think the last thing we love. What is your favorite episode? Your absolute favorite?
Oh my God, you guys.
Here's and whenever anyone asks me this question about anything, I'm always like, you can change it tomorrow.
Okay.
It's not set in stone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right now we ask you, you're like, here's this. And everyone know that if she says one and you're like, I can't believe she said that, she could change it tomorrow. It's fine. You can DM her on Instagram and ask her the question again and she'll answer how she wants.
I think just instinctually, I'm just going to go with what I always watch when I need a good cry.
Ooh.
And I'm pretty sure it's Change of Address.
Yes. And that,
Which,
Great pun and great.
yes.
It's the Aiden breakup, Carrie and Aiden breakup.
yeah.
Ooh.
That
I
was
mean,
tough.
great pun. That kind of gave me chills right there. Yeah, definitely.
Well, when he sleeps, when that ends with him sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
And then she goes and sleeps right next to him, and you think they've made up, and then
Yeah.
it's like Aiden moved out the next day or moved out the next week or something like
Yeah,
that.
and the next day, Aiden moved out.
Oh,
And I think I was listening to behind the scenes, if I remember correctly, they didn't know if they should leave that line in the episode or not. And then they decided they wanted to like kick drop the audience.
Yeah.
They did.
And they did.
Yep.
And that episode is emotional. It's also visually stunning. The white dress that she's wearing against the fountain when
Yep.
they're having like the least romantic conversation
Yeah.
ever.
yeah,
The way that she styles her engagement ring with all the layered pearls, I feel like that's how the episode begins. There's just a lot of great fashion moments, but emotionally, it is heavy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they kind of take you through the gauntlet with the Aiden relationship to the point where it was like a heavy ending. Even if you're not a huge fan of Aiden, it's still like tough to watch
Right.
that breakup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Well, Anahita, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was amazing.
This was incredible.
I'm glad we finally got to have you on.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And where can people find you on social media or wherever?
I am on Instagram and Twitter, but I don't really tweet that
Okay.
often. I'm very active on Instagram at Anahita Glitters.
Okay.
And I have to thank you guys. The same level of excitement I felt about the shoe was discovering you guys and going on this journey, connecting with you face to face this evening. So I'm beyond honored and I'm having the best time. So
Oh,
thank you.
thank you
great.
so much for
Thank you.
coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
you
was
guys are
so
awesome.
We were so nervous about doing the live show because we were just like, anytime we do a live show, it's just like, what if you do it and then you're just like, no one shows up? And there were so many people that like listen and that we know from the internet. So it was so great to meet you in person, and then great to get to sit down and talk about this.
Yeah.
It's like meeting people like you is like, we're like, can't believe people even like that we do this, and we get to meet the deputy fashion editor of like, I don't know. It's like, it's
Yeah.
really,
Really
really
cool. It's really
amazing.
surreal.
We love it. So
That's great. Thanks a lot.
thank you,
Thank you.
Anahita.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.
The Bradshaw Boys stars Cory Cavin, Jon Sieber, and Kevin James Doyle. The show is produced by Jeremy L. Balon. For more information on the guys, check out their website at bradshawboys.com, on social media at The Bradshaw Boys, and if you see them in the street, tip your glass. Thanks for listening.